flight. We trade the future, we own the night. Hola prime, the rhythm of the trade, where the bold and the fearless are made. From London to New York, the thrill's the same. Step into the beat of the Hola prime game. Candles dancing on the screen's bright glow, risk and reward in the ebb and flow. Through the highs and the lows, we play this game, fueled by the fire of the Hola prime name. Every tick, every move tells a tale. Navigating storms, we will prevail. The charts are canvas, profits are aim. Pain and success with the Hola prime name. Hola prime, the rhythm of the trade, where the bold and the fearless are made. From London to New York, the thrill's the same. Step into the beat of the Hola prime game. Every tick, every move tells a tale. Navigating storms, we will prevail. The charts are canvas, profits are aim. Pain and success with the Hola prime name. Fortune fame.
Hello, everybody. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am Coach Paul, and this is the Hola Prime Market News Update. U.S. equity markets rebounded nicely today after logging a loss on Monday. The S&P 500 traded up 0.41%, closing at 6487. The Nasdaq gained 0.43% and closed at 23,607, while the Dow Jones saw the smallest gain on the day, up 0.3% and closing at 45,530. We have lighter news on the international market front today. South Korea's BOK manufacturing BSI came in at 70 versus an expected rating of 68. This hints at manufacturing executives' opinions regarding production, order books, and finished goods inventories are becoming a little bit more positive. Also, Ireland consumer confidence rose in August from 59.1 to 61.1. The US dollar showed some weakness today amongst the major currency pairs after showing a larger strength on Monday. The Euro USD had a small gain, up 0.18%, closing at 1.1658 and currently trading at the same level as of this writing. CAD USD logged a 0.15% gain on the day from Monday's session close, and the pair is currently trading at 0.7235. GBP USD is currently trading at 1.3482, also up about 0.15% on the day on some decent volume. The Swiss franc traded up 0.31% versus the US dollar in today's session, the strongest of the mentioned USD pairs. The Swiss franc is currently trading at 1.2474. Japanese yen had a small green day, recording a 0.21% gain and trading at 147.37. Lastly, the New Zealand dollar gained 0.21% against the US dollar and currently sits at 0.5865. On the cryptocurrency front, cryptocurrencies bounced back a bit today after a 3-day skid. Bitcoin is up about 0.5% and is currently trading at 111,922 as of this writing, while Ethereum is up 2.74% and is currently trading at $4,600. To touch on some others, we have Litecoin up 3.2%, trading at 113.6, XRP up 3.55%, trading at 301. $3.01, and Solana is up 2.09%, trading at $196.77. On the commodity front, gold futures were up today almost 1%, gaining about $32 per troy ounce during the session, and are currently trading at $3,443 per troy ounce as of this trading. Silver also had a green day, gaining about 0.34% and closing at $38.69 per troy ounce. WTI crude oil futures had a big retracement, losing about $1.44 per barrel, or 2.22% in today's trading session, after seeing a $3 rally over the past week. Quick note, tomorrow we do have crude oil inventories data releasing at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, without further ado, it is about that time for our Quiet Markets live trading session with both myself and Coach Tiger. So let's get to the trading. There he is, Coach Tiger.
What's going on? How's it going today, my friend?
It is going good, sir. I am doing quite well. I cooked some dinner just an hour ago or so, so I'm feeling refreshed, full, ready for a nice 2-hour session here with you. I had a green day today. It's funny. So from last quiet market session, I went into the day at up 179 or something into this morning, and then I proceeded to lose all of that and then make it all back and a little bit more. So I finished the day at about $203 in the green or something. So not a shabby day for such a weird one, especially through the first half of the day with all the equity markets and whatnot being really choppy in the first half of the regular trading hour session. So decent day, I'd say.
Nice.
How about yourself? How did everything go in the morning?
Well. Yeah, I was noticing your futures markets were up pretty good.
Yeah.
So probably not the greatest Troy day.
No,
Did he catch
definitely not.
No.
Well, he wasn't on the session today, but I'm sure he had a kind of sit back approach today. I would have bet. So unless he made a couple of small scalps in the morning off of the range that was there for like the first 2 or 3 hours. So
yeah. Good deal. Yeah. So yeah, I got a couple trades going on at the moment. Got a euro dollar long, and I've got a Nikkei long. Right before I went to sleep to take my nap, I decided try my luck at a Swiss yen, a little bit of a breakout trade, a little bit of I guess you could call it an ORB. I'm still kind of playing around with that, just something fun to do on the side. I think I'm going to stop doing that though right before I go to sleep. It ended up getting up to a little over a 1-to-1, but retraced and closed me out for a tiny loss. Nothing too big, but yeah,
gotcha.
I kind of risked it on Friday and it worked out well, but then today was a little on the negative side, so probably just save that for my waking hours, or if nothing else, just close it out, even if it's a tiny bit of profit, going to get right before I go to sleep for my core sleep anyway. But yeah, euro dollar still is on my bullish list. It's I think it was a 5 the last couple days. It's up to a 6 now. So one more piece of good news for that bullish bias. So yeah, I got into that trade I don't remember when I got into it. Yesterday, I forgot when I got into it, but yeah, just more so monitoring them over the course of the day, just looking through the natural ebbs and flows of some of these higher time frame trades, just kind of letting it work its magic. So they got up pretty good. I mean, it got close to a 1-to-1. I was gonna move my stop loss to break even, but it wicked up and then it wicked back. So just waiting for a higher time frame to close above that 1-to-1 so I can move it on up. But yeah, still in the slight profit on it. The Nikkei trade is a little bit in drawdown. It's been kind of going back and forth between green and red throughout the course of the last 24 hours or so.
Okay.
It's kind of weird because Nikkei, I was getting a neutral score on it as of yesterday morning, or so Sunday night / Monday morning, and then all of a sudden it popped into my bullish list. So I found a spot on there, so I jumped in, and then now it's all the way back to a 1 again. So it keeps flip flopping. I think that I know Japan had a not so good of an inflation report as far as the index, the stocks, right? The stock index for Japan a few days ago. So it's just kind of going back and forth. Haven't figured it out. I'm going to have to look a little deeper on why the algorithms are going from neutral to bullish to neutral, but that's for another day.
Right.
Yeah, it was giving me a bullish score this morning or late yesterday, so I hopped on it. So I don't remember if I was on these trades last night or not, but yeah, I can kind of breeze through those.
The euro you were, I know, yeah, and I was going to mention real quick actually with the euro dollar. Yeah. Did you see that news headline that came out from J.P. Morgan? I believe they were talking about the euro dollar pair a little bit this afternoon. Also bullish on it. They're saying they were thinking. I think they were thinking. I can just pull it up real quick. I have it somewhere here on my tabs.
Yeah.
But I thought of you because I read it real quick and I was like, shoot, he's gonna like this one. This article. Like it says right here. Come on, where'd it go? Where'd you go? I know you're right here. What the heck?
Dollar weakness. Yeah, the BOC Macklem speech. Let's see here. Euro dollar. Oh, that's just the technical levels.
Here, J.P. Morgan, bullish euro dollar view sees 120 in Q4 and 122 in first half of 2026, but downgrades the yen. That was as of 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, 4:30 your time.
Okay.
So,
I spent. Well, it's good. I'll take it. Hey, we'll take any good piece of news that we can, right? For whatever we're in. I spent the bulk of my day. I probably spent 3 hours, man, just doing a little bit of a reflection of certain things. Birthday's tomorrow, right? So I always have a goal to get better at certain things. So yeah, I spent about 3 hours just working on some self-improvement stuff for outside of trading. So that was really kind of the bulk of what I did. Then when I wasn't doing that, I was trying to listen to the cabinet speech. You know, the whole cabinet was doing their cabinets meeting. Thing was like 3.5 hours long.
Daryl was saying the same thing. He's like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, they used to be way shorter. I don't know, back in the past, 30 minutes, an hour. But now President Trump comes in and he brings in the cameras, right? So it turns into a whole party, basically. But it's just funny. Each one is getting incrementally longer, I should say, than the previous ones before. I think this was their 7th one or 8th one that they've had. But yeah, I got through about an hour and a half of it. I'm like, all right, I got to go look at some charts. So
my goodness.
But it's just always interesting. It's just something that intrigues me, seeing how all the different offices kind of interact with each other. So it's always just kind of cool to watch.
Oh, of course. I want to say before I forget, happy birthday. I mean, I won't see you tomorrow, so I want to say it now. Happy birthday. That's awesome. I almost share a birthday with you. I'm about 3 weeks away from you. I'm in the 2nd or 3rd week of September. I don't technically know
Okay.
exactly which week it is, but I'm in the middle of September. So,
Sweet.
so yeah, man.
Sweet.
Happy birthday. Got anything planned for the birthday or no? Relax.
Yeah, I think me and my girl, she's so she does ophthalmology. So basically, she takes eye tests, does all the eye tests when you go into an eye clinic, and sets people up with prescriptions and all that kind of thing. So I guess one of her patients throws a big, gigantic shindig every single year around this time. So yeah, she asked if we could go to that. So I'm like, heck yeah. So we're gonna go.
Nice.
I guess Project X style, from what it sounds like. The big old shindig. It's one of her elderly
Cool.
patients too, but I guess he owns a lot of businesses in town and just throws a big shindig for friends, family, anybody with a pulse. So she wanted to go to that. I said, all right, let's do it. So that'll be Saturday.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yep. So that's
Awesome.
basically, I think basically it. Just take it easy tomorrow, and take it easy on Friday, and kind of prep for that.
Yeah, for sure. Turning 25, right? You said.
Oh yeah. Sounds about right.
Me too, man.
Sounds
too.
about right. I'll take that. I'll be 43. 43. Yeah. I had to think about it the other day. Like, wait a minute, 42, 43? I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I do the same thing, man. Now, yeah, like you literally get to a point. I get to a point where my birthday happens, and I already assume I'm the age of the next year. So I turn 33, and then I already think I'm 34. I'm just like immediately in my head. So I've been saying I've been 34 for a year now, but I'm actually turning 34. So now I'm going to be thinking I'm 35 all the time.
Yeah, that's about the age I was when I started doing that.
Yeah.
Like I was telling somebody this morning, I think, like, yeah, once you get to 25, you get that cheaper car insurance, and then you've got nothing left to look forward to after that. I think I was talking about that with the boys on Forex Fire. So, no, it'll be good.
That's great.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
For sure.
But anyway, yeah, so that's kind of what I'm looking at doing this weekend. But but just back to trading. I mean, just kind of monitoring these two trades. As far as my bullish and bias setups, I think the only thing that's really changed, Paul, since last night is, once again, the Nikkei fell off, which I still got to figure that out. But oil has jumped back into the negative territory, or the bearish territory. So oil's given a -6 now. And then outside of that, I think everything else is pretty much the same. I think pound Swiss fell off the map, so it's back to neutral. So I've got 5 bullish and 6 bearish setups, of which I'm already in one of the bullish. That's the euro dollar. So gold and silver are still the strongest bullish ones at 12 and 10. And then dollar Swiss, dollar Japanese yen, still the same bearish ones, strongest bearish ones, -13, -11. So pretty much the same. Just the fact we lost pound Swiss and added on oil as a short. So I kind of identified a 4-hour supply on oil, and I've kind of already got that alert set. So yeah, we can take a quick look real quick at some of my setups back in if you want to move on over to me chart.
Sure. Yeah.
We'll see what we got cooking. Got some magnets working hardcore on the Nikkei and the euro. So if I need to, I'll even add in a third magnet. Maybe even make the magnets a little bigger. We'll just find out. But 1 second. But so Japanese 225. Again, it was giving me a score of a 5 late last night / early this morning. So I went ahead and jumped on a long from this demand down here on a 4-hour time frame right there. And then it came back in. It actually wicked into it, I think. Or no, I think it missed it. That's right. It ended up missing it it did actually drop in. I'm sorry. So it did technically drop in at one point, but really they didn't get a lot of volume out of it. So it's not like it was anything strong. So I was just basically waiting for it to go a little deeper into the zone. So it ended up doing that here. And then I ended. Oh, this is the trade. No, never mind. That was euro dollar that I got in yesterday. So yeah, this was a very similar thing as euro dollar was yesterday. So yesterday, if you remember, on the euro dollar, this is basically the same look at price action that we had. Price was in this area, and I remember I said I had to go shopping, so I put a buy stop order in. Well, I did the same thing on the Nikkei. So. Right. Let's see here. Yeah, it would have been after our stream last night. Yeah, I ended up getting in. Yeah, at 11 p.m. my time. So same thing. I just put a buy stop in above this area here. And so got in, and it just kind of been going around, got into some deep drawdown, kind of dug its way out. And then obviously now that the Asian session has started, it's pretty much retraced most all that. So we'll see. This again is just a multi-day trade. Today's Tuesday. So, I got another 2.5 days to keep an eye on it. And just let it work its magic. I mean, that's just part of the patience with being a shorter term swing trader. Going to experience a lot of red, going to experience a lot of green. It's just going to kind of fluctuate. So, we'll just let that do its thing. But I've ultimately got to stop. I mean, take profit up here just to give it some room in case it spikes. But yeah, I mean, once price, if we can break through this immediate supply, then I'll be feeling a heck of a lot better about this little supply here above it. I don't think it's strong enough to completely reverse it, because when price left that zone, it obviously dropped into my demand, but then it just wicked right back up. So it wasn't strong enough to break below the demand zone I was after and close below. So that made me feel okay about taking a shot at this. That was really kind of the catalyst in deciding whether or not I wanted to pull the trigger on a long or not. That, and it was also kind of helped by this little downward line I had. Just kind of wicked through this downtrend line from this point to the wick that actually did touch the top of the zone. So technically mitigated, yes. If you look at it on a 4-hour time frame, or really even a 1-hour time frame, but again, it just barely touched. So we'll give it a shot. Had it went in a quarter of the way or so, I probably would have. I probably would have just ignored it or just taken off a lot of risk. But no, I pretty well did a pretty decent risk on it. So we'll give it a shot and just let it do its thing.
Nice.
So that's the yen, and the Nikkei. And then, as far as the euro dollar trade I got on last night or yesterday before our stream, right in here is where I'll go back to my 15. So I set my buy stop order here. That way I could go to the store and not miss out on the trade. Shot up really nicely, came back down into the zone and shot all the way back up again as of 10:11 this morning. And now it's just kind of retracing, kind of going sideways. So I gotta take profit up here ahead of this 1-hour supply. Or I guess that might be a 4 hours. 1-hour supply. Okay. So that's kind of where that's setting. So just going to let them do its thing. Let's see here.
Awesome.
Let's increase the size a little bit.
I am, just as an FYI, I am a gold short at the moment. And,
sure.
So that's all I have to say. I'm short gold, looking for a relatively large move here. I'm looking for about $6.50 to the downside in gold. Looking for a big fill on a larger bid down closer to the downside. So, but I'm only using the micros tonight again, like I did last night. I'm gonna save myself on the minis instead. I'm gonna just do like 3 micros. Yeah.
Yep. Dang right, Coach Daryl. Spring chicken up in here. You're only as old as you feel, right? Still
exactly.
going.
That's not good for me, actually. That's
not good for you. Why?
Because I'm feeling my body, I think, is aging more rapidly than it should be at this age. So that's another problem. That's my own fault. I can reverse that. I can reverse that. It's reversible. It's just my own decision.
Oh, for sure. Well, that's part of what I spent so much time on this morning. Who am I kidding? This afternoon after I woke up. I actually got up early today. I just couldn't sleep. I was just like, I gotta do some things. So I ended up getting up and actually kind of lined out some things I'm about to do for getting back into my workouts, because I've been away from them for a couple of years and I hate it. So I kind of lined out some things I'm going to do. I'm actually going to get, because I've always loved the steam room, the eucalyptus steam room at the gyms I used to go to. It's just the best feeling ever. Go in there after a workout, clear out the lungs, sweat it out, snot it out. You feel so freaking much better, I'm telling you. So I thought, well, I'd like to have my own, or maybe go back to the gym, get my membership back. But then I was like, well, part of me would like to just have my own steam room at my house. So I was preparing that they were going to be super costly. So I got on, I called my old gym back. I said, hey, what's the membership fees? Because when I left, I was paying $53 a month. Well, they're up to about $130 a month now. I said, oh, wait a minute. This is just in 2 years.
God.
I said, well, hold on a second. So I had the sales in me came out. And I said, well, hold on a second. Now, I was paying 53 when I put my account on hold. I do know that my sister started a little after. She paid $75 a month. So what can we do to get down to the $70, $80 range? He said, well, let me pass off your info to our manager and he'll call you. So got a wheel and deal, right? Nothing. Everything in life is negotiable. So anyway, I was waiting on a call and I thought, well, let me just look up online and see what a portable steam room would cost. Because they actually make them in like a little tent, like pretty much a tent's what it is. You put a chair inside, you put your little steamer inside. There's a little, looks like a crock pot on the outside where you put your water in, distilled water, eucalyptus drops and all that. I found one for $130. I couldn't believe it. And I fit in it. So I thought, well, screw the gym, because I have a gym at my complex. It's not as extravagant as like the Genesis gym that I go to, but I don't need all of that. I'm not training to be a bodybuilder. I used to. I used to do hardcore weights like every day. Me and my buddy was constantly working out, but I just want to maintain now. Like I ain't trying to grow. It'd be no Hulk or He-Man or anything like that. So anyway, and I was scoping out my room. So I thought, well, shoot, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to add that to my repertoire. Buy me a steamer and go to my own gym and just save all my money. $130. That's it. That's part of it.
That's awesome, man. Dude. And you know what? That's the salesman in you, but also like just in one example, that's the salesman in you. And also like genuinely traders are like this, where you're looking for like value constantly. And then on top of that, like the trader lifestyle is relatively like mitigating expense, like unnecessary expense, I feel like, because the whole point is to keep your capital in the markets and try to use your capital as efficiently as possible and allow you to trade another day. And it's like naturally within us, we're just like, we want to make sure that, you know, if you can use your gym at your apartment, it's like use it and then don't pay a membership fee. Go freaking buy a steam room yourself and save, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on memberships for a gym that would have that. Like, that's awesome, man. Love it.
Well, I mean, even like my apartment complex, the first few years I was living here, we got some really good low rates. And then after a couple of years, they were trying to raise our rents to match up with local apartment complexes. So they tried 2 or 3 years in a row to up it by $120 a month. I was like, no. I willed and dealed them down every time to 60. I said, you meet me halfway and we got a deal. Because I know they got to do their thing, cost of living, all that, cost of their expenses, whatever. So
man. I've negotiated a gym membership before. I remember it being like it was like when I like something similar to you. It was like $25 for me when I had been going there, and then like a year later they upped it to like 50, and I was just like, that's wild. I was like, oh, okay. Like when I was talking to the guy at the place, I was like, oh, okay, never mind. Then I'm just going to find a different gym. Like that's way more than I was expecting. And then he was like, wait, hold on a second. And then he brought the manager over and he's like, what can you do? And I was like, I'll do 30. And he's like, deal. Just snap of a finger immediately. Like it's hilarious to shave $20 a month off just like that because you were adamant about like it's super negotiable. Gym memberships are always negotiable. People don't realize that, but They really are.
Well, they tried to say, well, because it's 128 if you sign a contract, or it's 142 if you just do month to month. They said, well, since you used to be a member, we'll drop it down to 112 a month. I said, no. We got to talk further on this. So anyway, we'll see what the guy says.
Crazy.
But, yeah. But that was before I realized how cheap the dang steam rooms are. So I'm probably just going to stick with that route. But so you're short. You're short gold, right?
It's working out. Yeah, it's working out so far. It's about $1 in the money on me at the moment. So we can share my screen if you want, or if you want to go through something, we can.
No, that's fine. I was just simply going to say, I've got an alert to go the opposite way since it's one of my strongest, but that's not till 33.55 on the CFD. So sell it down to me. I'll take the inventory off your hands.
All right, sounds good to me. I'm looking to get to the 34.30 area. That would be my ultimate goal tonight, to get down to there if it can. Saw some larger selling pressure just occur at the 34.36 level, right below, a little bit below where I actually got in on my short. A lot of bids came in between 34.33 and 34.35 just within the last 2 minutes here. So, and then the biggest bid, the big boy bid, being at 34.30 all the way down there, which would coincide, 34.30 would coincide with a lower volume area in which gold traded during the regular trading hour session. So 34.36 is like the top of one of the smaller distributions in which it traded in the regular trading hours, and 34.30 is kind of the bottom of that distribution that was closer to the top of the range. The way that gold traded today, it almost traded in like a double distribution form. The first distribution being between 34.18 and 34.28, and then the second distribution being between 34.31ish and 34.35 to 36. So an interesting kind of gap of sorts between 34.29 and 34.31, which is where we're essentially trying to target. If I get this, if I'm able to hold this short for a long while for it to get down there in the session, and book this gain, I'll have 3 winning trades in the last 24 hours on gold, if that's the case, which is a rarity for me. I don't trade gold too much, and to be right this often feels almost not even possible. So gold's a fickle one. So a very fickle one. I don't pay attention to the gold markets. I haven't been paying attention too much to them until like the last month or so. So can be fickle.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's funny you say that, because, for me, I mean, in my first 11 years, it was nothing but Forex. But over the last years, when I've really started digging into some other these items, and gold has actually been my most popular trade over the last couple months. It really has. Yeah. I mean, I've been getting a ton of bullish signals on my hedge finder for it, and I've just been finding some good spots. So that's actually, I was looking at a summary of my trade history over the last month and a half or whatever it's been, a couple months, and it's been half of my trades have been gold. I didn't even realize it. But I've just been
awesome.
Getting a ton of signals and a ton of decent zones, and I think I've around 60% win rate on it, 60, 70, something. No, it's 80, because it was 4 out of 5, as far as some of these higher time frames. So yeah, it's actually been my favorite item lately over the last couple of months is gold. So kind of surprising. Yeah. It's always good to review your trade history every so often. And I just happened to do it today, Friday, after the day was over, and thought, okay, well, let's stick with what's working, right?
I need to do that actually myself. I need to kind of go over what I've been favoriting more in the last like 2 to 3 weeks. That's a good point. Top Dog is in the house here. Saying what's up?
What's going on?
What is
Top
going on,
dog,
Top Dog?
sell it.
What do you trading anything tonight? Or are you kind of taking a little relaxing night, just kind of watching the charts a little bit here? Anything you're looking at in particular?
Yeah, let us know. Let us know.
I'm gonna
Forex
be.
futures, Bitcoin, gold, silver, indices,
Oh,
auditings.
yes,
I was actually adding
Bitcoin.
in, Paul, some of your futures tickers to my index futures tab on TradingView just so I can follow along. So I assume the micro gold futures is at the MGC one exclamation point for TradingView. Does that sound right? Or do you even use TradingView?
For TradingView, that does sound right. I don't use TradingView, but like I have used it before, but I don't like actually frequently
Mhm.
use it. But
Oh, okay, gotcha.
MGC is for sure right. One would be the front month with the exclamation point. So that sounds right to me. But
What does that mean, front month? Because I do see that a lot. One and then exclamation point. What does that mean, if you don't mind?
yeah. So with futures contracts, there's like expiration months, and the front month would be the most current month that has the most liquidity that you would trade. So, the like
Okay.
so if a commodity, let's say, traded every single month of the year, months January through December, and had a contract for every single one of those months. And we're in August right now. The front month would most likely at this point be September, where the most liquidity is being traded. And then
Oh,
once you
okay.
get towards yeah. So, and then people will roll their positions into the following month to be in the most liquid month, the front month, before it becomes super illiquid and the spreads are crazy. So yeah, that's
Okay.
what that means. Yeah.
That makes a little more sense. Yeah, I just thought I would
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
adding in some of these future pickers to watch along as you're showing them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, let me see. Dollar yen. I'd like to get in this dollar yen, but need it to come a little bit higher. Got quite a few alerts set, so hoping I get some more of these alerts to hit. I'm already in a dollar trade. I'm already in a euro trade. I'm already in a Japan
Hmm.
trade. So I'm just trying to look at some more of the cross pairs out. Actually, probably shouldn't even really be looking at the dollar Jap at the moment. Now, I was looking at dollar Jap as more of a shorter term type of trade. If I'm in a longer term trade, I don't mind getting in a shorter term trade for a similar currency. I just don't typically get
Okay.
into two or more higher time frame trades with any one currency, just so I'm not
Yeah.
doubling up my risk. But if I'm trying to scalp the market, on that same currency, then that's obviously a little bit of an exception to the rule for me.
Yeah.
But
You're in a lot of trades, man. Or you're like looking at a lot of stuff, man. That's what I'm
yeah,
trying to do. I'm trying to always have my eye on a lot of things, like in the regular trading hour sessions. Recently, man, I've been just wild. I've been a wacky guy. Today I traded again. I traded 10-year notes. I traded the Russell, and I traded gold today. I didn't even trade any of the three indices today, which is like the three major indices,
uh,
which is pretty hilarious. But
yeah,
yeah, just got my eyes on a bunch of stuff now, kind of diversifying out a little bit.
yeah. I have
Gold, all
to.
right.
I mean, I have to diversify with. It's just it takes a while for a lot of these to set up. I mean, I may completely ignore certain currency pairs for months just because the setups just aren't there. So, yeah, for me, I have to have a lot of different assets to jump into versus, being more of an intraday scalper. It's obviously, easier for you to
Hmm.
potentially get a few, what, 2, 3, 4 good setups a day, I'm assuming. Something like that.
Yeah,
Like really good ones. Yeah.
right. And
Yeah.
real real quick to just explain something that I actually just did. So originally I had my stop loss for this trade at a little bit higher. I had it at like 2.5 points or so of risk, and now it's been like, how long has it been? it's been almost 20 minutes since I've gotten into the trade, and it's gone down
Mhm.
in my favor a bit here. But also, the whole reason I got into this trade was I was selling based off of the EMAs again. The trend is down,
Mhm.
respecting the 9-period EMA on the 5-minute, respecting the 50-period EMA on the 1-minute. So I looked at the 1-minute again, looked at the 5-minute again after a while being in this trade, looking at where the EMAs are at, and I shifted my stop loss down to where it made sense to still give it room above those EMAs, but not be like egregiously like far away from where the current EMAs are standing. So that's a
Mhm.
whole other thing of like, managing the trade and managing the risk, is just making sure that the whole point of your stop being there is that wherever your stop is, that's where your trade is proved wrong, right? So my trade is being proved wrong
Right.
based on breaks of EMAs, not necessarily a break of a specific price level that
Oh,
I
okay.
see, because this is the overnight session and I'm looking at some trend following, and it's simply a trend
Yep.
trade. So yeah, moved my stop down to 34.37.7, which is still giving it a decent bit of room, honestly. Um,
Mhm.
but the last time we saw a little bit of a down move and then some consolidation and then a little bounce. Let's see, the total move ended up being about $2 from the low. So let's see where $2 would be here. 35 to 37. So good thing. Like that's something else I do is during like trends, I'll look at where the peaks and like the bottom of the valleys and the tops of the peaks are on like rebounds or like failed reversals. Essentially, I'll see how large
Yeah.
those are, and then kind of gauge whether or not my stop is also respecting a possible like spike upwards before a continuation down. That's just another small thing that I do essentially to make sure that I'm giving the trade enough room. And
Mhm.
with my stop at 34.37.7, that's 2.7 dollars per ounce of room instead of two, like I saw in this last, during this trend, this last little failed reversal and then continuation to the downside. So looks like buyers tried to push up here again, and then at the 232, or sorry, 232, geez Louise, the 9:32 p.m. Eastern time, uh, buyers got like trapped up closer to the 34-36 area and kind of gave out, and now we're selling back down a little bit. We'll see if the buyers can't come back in to try and push things up again, to break through that EMA. But looks like they're trying now. Looks like they're trying. Ooh, they are really trying.
Oh, there they are.
So we will see what happens here.
Bounce down.
Would
Bounce
be
down.
nice, but I'm really trying to test. I'm trying to. It is tonight. Going into tonight, I was thinking, you know what? If I get the opportunity to like hold a trade a little bit longer, I'm trying to channel my inner Coach Daryl here and hold for just a little while. Hold for a little while, like let it play out a little bit more, unless something very, very strong comes in on the order flow that I can't ignore, and just tells me this is now a terrible idea to stick in this trade.
Yeah.
So all right,
Is
looks like buyers just gave up. Come on.
I feel like he holds them a little bit longer than most of you guys on the stream. Is that fair to say?
Oh yeah, definitely. He definitely holds trades the longest, I think, of all of us. But our newer coach Adelina, she holds for a
Yeah.
decent amount of time too. She's very similar in that way. She's willing to hold for an elongated period of time, and I'm
Yeah.
not talking about like 5 or 10 minutes. I'm talking about like I think I think today she held for a really long while, like at least like at least 30 minutes or so. So yeah, I mean, I think the longest amount of time I've ever held a trade for was roughly like 2 hours. I think that's the longest I've ever held a trade for. So
you call that a day scalper?
yeah, essentially.
Between
I
scalpers
mean
and day traders?
that's in the futures markets. In the stock market, I've held trades for days at a time. I've like done more swing trading stuff
Sure.
in the stock market, but yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, it just depends on the person's personality, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Comfort level.
Definitely.
Good stuff.
Come on,
Yeah,
gold.
let's see if I can something here.
Dive.
Dive.
We can look at other things too here. I'll pull up the NQ. We're kind of rebounding on the NQ a bit at the moment, trying to get back to the overnight high at 23,624. We're only 8 points away from that. The ES is looking the same, exactly the same. And then let's see what silver's doing right now in conjunction with gold. Silver looks like it's roughly doing the same thing here. So that's good. And gold's actually dipping down a little bit more as we speak. So very good sign. What else can we look at in the overnight here? Crude oil. What's crude oil doing? Is crude oil still falling?
Problem
Yeah,
child.
crude oil's. Yeah. Yeah, crude oil's looking to retest its low of the open outcry here at the 63.13 area. It's at 63.22 at the moment. So I wouldn't short into that personally. I don't.
Ooh.
If I can stay away from shorting into the lows or the high, or or buying into the highs, I can. Not to say that I don't do it, but I try to stay away from it. Especially in an overnight session when I haven't been paying too much attention to CL as of late. A little bit here and there, but
yeah, looking at oil, it actually created a brand new supply zone 9:30 this morning, so I need to wrap a rectangle around it, throw an alert up. Yeah, the U.S. oil anyway, 64.09, the 64 level. Get that alert set. Yeah, I got a much higher alert, but it's a couple $3 away. But this would be a nice little scalpy type setup, so I'm going to throw an alert on it. Here we go. About 80 cents away, 75 cents.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah, it's basically I guess that'd be the equivalent of your 34.43 level. I'm looking at that right. Well, for me, it's 9:30 a.m. Central Time. Which, by the way, I've always said that I live in Central Standard Time, which I do, but I never realized that when you have spring ahead, so you got fall back, you got spring ahead. When you're in the spring hours, spring summer hours, it's not technically CST, it's CDT, Central Daylight Time. So I guess that'd be the same for you, right? For EDT.
Yeah, EDT.
But I never knew that until I was looking it up the other day, because I was trying to translate some times across the pond, and I was like, give me this time. I need, help me translate whatever it was I was looking up, Shanghai or whatever I was looking up, into Central Standard Time. And then I got to looking when they gave me the answer. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not 5 hours difference. It's 6 hours difference, or whatever city I was looking at. I think it was Hong Kong, actually, or I don't know. Oh, it was South Africa. That's right, because that's where Coach Richard lives. And so South Africa time. So I was like, well, now he told me it was 5 hours difference, but this is saying 6. So what's the difference? what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's because I was asking for CST, not CDT.
Right.
So
that's funny.
The more you know.
Funny enough, I actually didn't know that either until you saying it was made me realize, oh yeah, I have seen that before, but I just never put it together. Like I never put that together.
Yeah,
That's
because
funny.
like even like some all our prime people have been sending out times, and I'm like, well, why are they saying CDT? What the heck does that even mean?
Mhm.
Oh, I was the dummy. So I learned something every day. 43 years old, and I learned what CDT means.
Hey, dude. There's a lot worse. There's way worse things that you can learn at our ages
Yeah,
for sure. But
that's right.
something something that's kind of worrying me with this gold trade. I'm at break even right now, roughly. Gold.
Yeah.
So when I'm looking at the order flow on, or I'm looking at the depth of market, sorry, I am seeing, I'm seeing algos flip flop on the ladder. So we've talked about this before, where there will be a bunch of offers stacked like across, let's say, 20 ticks of price movement, and then price will come up to those offers, and then the offers will disappear, and then they'll get put at the bid underneath current price, like by, let's say, 20 ticks, and then price will go towards that, will drop back down to go towards that, and it'll keep flip-flopping like that. The algorithms will keep doing that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you can look at that as possible, manipulation of sorts, which is not
Right.
allowed. It's extremely difficult to prove that.
Allegedly.
But,
Right.
yeah. So right now, like what we're seeing right now, this is a pretty decent bounce here. Pretty like solid buyers at the moment, but the offers that were put above got taken away, and they haven't been put at the bid yet. They haven't been flipped to the bid. Actually, they just got re-put on the offer here further above. So this is not looking so good for my trade, to be quite honest. I think that buyers are now chasing after the offer volume here. That is unfortunate. Whatever just happened in this last like 3 minutes kind of just set things off, I think, to the upside here. So probably going to get stopped out. Let's see on the
here.
1 minute here. Yeah, trend already broke at this point, and we gapped
Australia's
up between. Sheesh. Sorry.
Let me see here. No, I was just looking. 840 CPI. Maybe Australia's CPI might have messed around with your trade. That was 15 minutes ago. Australia's CPI beat expectations by
sure.
0.4%. So they projected 1.9%. Actual was 2.3. So it's a hot Australian report. Meaning, and gold isn't gold a commodity currency of the Aussie, right? Aussie is a commodity. Yeah. Aussie and gold are tied. So, yeah, good Aussie would mean that, yeah, that's probably why you're getting the buys coming in, right? Because it was a good number.
Man, that's unfortunate.
That sucks. That sucks that it happened right when you're in it, but how do you know, right? You never know. I mean, let's take a look at that report. 1.9. Oh, wait a second. I'm sorry. I need to refresh my screen. 1.9 was the previous number. 2.3 was the forecast. It came in hot at 2.8. Okay. So it was 0.5 higher. So, yeah, that's why you're getting the bump.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I forgot all about the Aussie report because, well, I have my low impact news on here for some reason, and it flooded it out. I didn't even see it. Let me get rid of my low filter or my low impact. Yeah. Yep.
That is so unfortunate. I need to be paying attention to some of that overnight data. That's just unfortunate. Like that was looking like a really good trade.
Yeah.
Until that. That's one of those ones I wish I had back. If I had known that kind of news was coming out, that could affect it actually that much.
This is about the time Australia, New Zealand. This is really 8:30 Central, 9:30 your time. is really the most popular time for them to drop releases like that. So, yeah, I'll start. Okay, so that'll be something that we can start doing. I'll just start throwing that out at the start of the streams, just in case there's any Aussie or New Zealand info. And then Tokyo, they obviously come out with theirs before the stream starts typically.
Yeah.
But,
everybody in the chat's
noted.
pretty active right now. Chaboozer,
Yeah, what do you guys
Delco
up to?
talking about. Yeah, Delco talking about the CPI on the AUD and yeah, Delco talking about he was looking short at the moment, but he wants to go to sleep. So yeah, don't blame you. Yeah, you know, the short just looked so good there. That's just, if that CPI number didn't come out, I mean that thing was printing, I feel like, and it just actually I don't think if you look at this now, look what's happening. Like now it's selling back down here. I feel like I want to get back in short. Getting back in short. I'm getting back in short.
Catch it. Give me my money back, gold. Yeah, Michael was stalking a trade that he had a small loss on last week. He said today, he's like, I don't even care. He said, I'm getting it back. he has a legit setup. So it's not like he's just chasing it because it stole his money last week. But he's got a legit setup. No. He's like, that's going to be my main setup.
Yeah, of course. I'm thinking, you know, what I'm thinking was I just got stopped out of that. I might have gotten stopped out of that on that news, but but it might have been like a little bit of an overreaction in the gold, like you were saying. Maybe some participants came in to, I don't know, maybe hedge themselves versus it or something, and then maybe the selling pressure will continue to the downside. To have the bid up right there and then the slam back down, to me feels like the buyers got weak. There was a little bit of an exhaustion, and we could continue back down. So needed to get back short there, because if I didn't, I'll risk the $65 in micro gold. You know, to see if this continuation can occur after a weird news move like that. So that's definitely worth it to me.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I did yesterday when I got in that euro dollar trade. So I had noticed that we had the U.S. homes numbers come out yesterday. So that would have been, let me just go back to my calendar real quick. I need to go select the rest of this week. I've only got Tuesday. New home sales. So that was a 9 a.m. Central Daylight Time report that came out yesterday, where they had a hot home sales number. So for my euro dollar, I'm obviously bullish euro, which obviously means I'm bearish the dollar. So with it being a good dollar report, I took advantage. That's really why I got in a trade, because you had a temporary spike in the dollar, which obviously dropped the euro dollar down into my demand zone, so I could take the other side. So, but yeah, it's obviously new home sales. I did that because it was more of a middle impact news. It's not like it's a red folder event. I don't know. Sometimes I think it should be a red folder event, but you know, nevertheless, it's a middle impact. So, so that's really what I did on that. Just kind of took advantage of the temporary dollar strength in order for it to drop into my zone and take the other end. So, but with the Aussie dollar, what I was going to say, prior to that report coming out, which was obviously good for the dollar, the Aussie dollar has a economic heat map impact score of 57%, meaning 57% of reports have beaten expectations. So now that came out, it's actually going to go up, because the previous CPI number was a bearish number, because they had forecasted a 2.4. It actually dropped to 2.1. Well, this time it's reversed. So that 57% is actually going to push this over 60%, which is overall a good outperformance for the currency. So I definitely see the Aussie Maybe not immediately, but oh well, a little spike. I could see it going. I mean, I could see it continuing upward a little bit. Personally, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't really think I have anything paired with it right now because all the Aussie pairs, all the Aussie Forex pairs are still in the more neutral camp. So it's not like I'm getting a super strong, bullish or bias for any of the Aussie pairs. But again, just looking at it from the currency, just standalone by itself, yeah, you might get away with that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and as we're talking about that, like a bunch of after the set, there was a bunch of sellers that just slammed the price back down. A larger
Mm-hmm.
buyer or buyers came in closer to the bottom of that, and then a large bidder put a decent bid at 34.36, and the market kind of rallied back up. It's rallied close to that spike. I mean, you can see it on my screen now.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of looking. It's not looking the greatest for me. I mean, it's okay. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with getting back into the short for sure. Truly be proven wrong here. And
Mm-hmm.
if I think that there's a better long, if there's a long to switch into after a move up where I get stopped out and maybe like a consolidation occurs and I can get long, I'll do that. But I'll just stick in this trade until either my stop gets hit or if we sellers just come in to try and dump the market here. So
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm very short term bearish gold myself. Like I said, I would love to see it come down. Come on down. I've got 3 demand zones waiting on you. I got that one I was talking about, 33.55, which is obviously the XAU USD price.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got another one, 33.36, and another one at 33.30. So I got 3 options for you, gold. Which basically those last 2 are at the beginning of Powell's speech Friday. So that's pretty much, Paul, that's pretty much where all of my alerts are set. Like probably 80% of my alerts, they're all set at price points that 30 minutes to an hour before his speech Friday morning.
Okay.
That's pretty much where they're outside of this first gold alert I have, which is kind of, I don't know, probably about 60% of the way through the speech, just because, with everything, with all the digesting that Price did Sunday evening / Monday, early Monday, midday Monday, everything just kind of went sideways for the most part. I mean, I think 1 or 2 things kind of trended a little better, but for the most part, all the Forex pairs and everything, gold, silver, everything just went sideways for a whole 24-hour period. But then we had, let's see here. We had yesterday at 7. Oh, we might have even discussed this on the stream last night. But yeah, like gold spiked down real hard, but then it spiked up. So it basically broke the lows and it broke the highs of all the contractions. And then it's just kind of went back to sideways, but now it's going up. So it's just they're all trying to find their legs pretty much.
Right.
So, did we break new highs only to turn around and chase liquidity on the bottom side of that spike down yesterday? That's really the play I'm looking for. Just the contraction.
Yeah.
I mean, the expansion legs, what I call the expansion legs, consistent with the master pattern price action. So, contraction, expansion trend, right? That's really what I love to see.
You know what I would love to see?
I know
gold to prove me right. Just kidding. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go. No, me too. Because I mean, I'd be afraid of buying right there. I mean, it looks a little different on a 1-minute chart, but looking at it on a 1 hour, 4 hour, hell no, I don't want to buy that expensive. That's too expensive for my blood.
Yeah.
I mean, demand zone number 1 is it has to make a 0.89% move down just to get to my first demand zone. So yeah. The people that are buying up there are buying expensive crab legs, right?
And something interesting that is kind of developing maybe with this this downward trend possibly, is we just saw some respect on the 50 period EMA here. So instead of respecting the 9 period like it was very tightly, it decided to break through that, maybe stop some shorts out to then get up to the 50 period and then continue the sell off. So essentially, the market might have, caught me with my pants down essentially on a cheap short, and took away a little bit of money from me to then continue the move here. For a second, I was starting to, when I'm looking at the order flow here, I'm starting to think that if we can't get some sort of decisive move back into this 34-35 area in the next like 5 minutes or so, honestly, the situation that is has come upon us here in the last 30-40 minutes is that there's a lot of aggressive sellers that came in that area, the 34-36 to 34-35, that could be trapped now, which would be fuel for the upside. Maybe they just can't handle being in the short at this point. Some of them got stopped out on this little rip up, but if there is any more of a little bit of a bounce here, they could just get stopped out themselves and then have a rip higher. But it feels decent for the sellers at the moment. This move back down feels okay. So maybe a little bit of new sellers came in, or some old sellers kind of added to their position on that rip up. Yeah, would love to see the defense of the 50 period so I can have my stop above that going forward. And hopefully, if we continue down to my ultimate target profit, I'll just keep the stop above the 50 period as we go. So yeah.
Sweet.
Delco mentioning I have NQ supply zone at 23,633, then 23,648 to 52 at the moment. Gold seemed to mirror. Okay, let me give a little look at the NQ real quick.
Yeah, I was looking at that 23,633 level he was talking about. 23,648. 23,6. What time frame, Delco? What time frame are you looking at as far as your supply zone? Just curious on that.
I'm going to assume somewhere around the 4 hour, the 1 to 4 hour. I would think he's possibly looking at
NQ.
Yeah, because back on like August 22nd, we had those wicks. So 48 to 52 would be literally, right where these wicks are here that he's thinking. This is my assumption, though. I'm just assuming. I'm not actually, but yeah, like right there. So that little rectangle. Yeah, that makes. Yeah, I got you, Delco. Yep, I'm right there with you. Yep. We'll see.
Yeah, I haven't even paid attention to the indices for the last few days because as far as the fundamentals and the sentiment go, they're all neutral. So like the strongest reading I have is a +3 for the S&P. Dow is a 2. And then the NASDAQ, or NQ, depending on which one you look at, is a 0. So it's straight up 0. So that's as neutral as it gets, from a fundamental point of view. I mean, let me look here. It just hasn't had a very good – NASDAQ has not had a good time lately with the fundamentals. I mean, it's negative fundamentals on both sets of PMI data, the manufacturing and the services sector. Negative on retail sales, and it's also negative on the inflation data. So the PPI, the PCE, and also the employment change. So not looking good from that point of view. But then you turn around and look at things like the retail positioning, getting a bullish score for that, bullish score for seasonality. and a bullish score for the GDP. So that and the CPI. So yeah, a little bit of a mixed bag. The technicals are looking pretty decent. Half of the sentiment's looking decent, but yeah, the fundamentals is why it's all the way back down to neutral. Well, and the interest rate
Yeah.
decision that's going good as well. So yeah, just straight up a technical only. I'd be only looking at this on a technical level by itself, just like the old days.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
man, I'm looking at the Nasdaq a little bit. With Delco mentioning the 23,628 area, which is funny because that's kind of where it did a little micro, like add a little micro double top of sorts when I'm looking at the 1 minute, and it's selling down, and I was contemplating getting into a short here, but like it already made a really good move down. Unfortunately, already dropped like 10 points in the last few minutes. So I might be a little bit late to that. I mean, at least I'm in the gold short, but yeah, I got to get used to being into multiple positions at the same time here on the overnight. At times, I think I sometimes get a little bit too focused. I really only, I mean, let's be real, on the overnight, gold and Nasdaq are like usually the ones to trade. I mean, you can trade the ES too. The ES is fine. ES can be traded for sure, but I think the Nasdaq and the gold are like the big ones that are the most fun and easier to read. ES is just slower. The ES is always slower. That's just how it goes.
Gotcha.
But all right,
molasses.
gold is moving back in my favor here. All right, I'll take it. Come on, let's go. Prove me right, gold, please.
Prove me right.
Say my name, gold. Say my name.
Who's
You've
your
watched
daddy?
Breaking. You've watched Breaking Bad, right? Have you watched Breaking Bad?
Little bit. I think I have. Yeah, my girlfriend was watching that a couple times when I went over there, and yeah, I got to watching several episodes. So, yep.
There's a classic line where Heisenberg is like talking to a guy that he's going to be selling his product to, and the guy doesn't believe that he is Heisenberg, and then once he proves to him that he is Heisenberg then says, "Say my name," like authoritatively, like genuinely, like an egomaniac. And there are memes that are all across the internet of like people in chats of like streams that'll just literally be like, "Say my name." Like it'll be like people in chat to live streamers when you like donate $1 or something, and it's always like the gif of Heisenberg saying, "Say my name," because they want you to shout them out. And somebody in our other regular trading hours chat did that joke, and they said, "Say my name" in the chat, and I was hysterical. I was hysterical. It was too funny.
Oh, I was just okay. So I just looked that show up. That's not the one I was thinking of. So no, I haven't seen that show. I've heard of it. I've just never actually watched it. I was thinking of something
highly
else.
Recommend. Highly recommend. You and the lady.
Yeah, because I have seen a lot of his.
Sure.
Yeah, I have seen a lot of his memes. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give that a look. Let me see. What do we have on the finance news today? Dow, S&P, Nasdaq futures inch higher with all eyes on NVIDIA earnings. Wall Street braces for NVIDIA. And independence.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Suggestions.
I'm embracing for NVIDIA earnings. My retirement account is embracing for NVIDIA earnings.
A lot of a few headlines on the Fed independence concept with Trump firing cook. So that's definitely going to be in the news cycle for probably the rest of the week. What else we got here? Yeah, I made a funny piece about that, and I do the news in the mornings for the Forex Fire. I do it usually 3:30, so it's usually about 30 minutes in. Once in a while, we'll push it to 4 o'clock, but I've started adding a big dose of humor to it, to my news. So if you ever want to laugh, just fast forward to the 30-minute mark, or once in a while it'll be the 1 hour mark. If you want to get a nice humorous kick to your news.
I will.
But that was one
for
thing.
sure.
That was one thing I mentioned in my news today was about that. I can't remember what I wrote, but yeah, it was quite funny. Is that something about getting policy from Truth Social posts or something? I can't remember what I put, but it was pretty good. So we might have to start clipping those as what do you call it, as bookmarks or whatever you call it, timestamps. Throw those out as shorts.
Yes.
Because I'm getting them.
That's a good idea.
Some more humor.
That's a
got to
good idea.
doctor it up, man. This stuff can be boring, right? So I got to, as far as the news piece goes, I got to doctor it up, put some laughs on people's face, especially that time of day.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the timestamp idea is really good, actually. That should be. I think our team should look into that, doing timestamps for the different segments. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why when I was watching you guys on stream yesterday for your futures session, when Daryl started singing, that's why I put in the chat, timestamp it. He started singing Culture Club, I think it was.
Right.
And he edited it with Sam's name in there, so I thought that was quite funny.
That's so good. Yeah.
What's going on, No Sleep Narrator? Plans for my birthday. Well, it's tomorrow. It's the most boring day of the week to have a birthday. So I'm just going to, it's going to take place on Saturday. You got a Project X style party. If you haven't seen the movie Project X, anybody in the chat, you'll have to go check it out. It's wild and crazy, but no, too old for that mess. I'm just going to go and have a few drinks with a bunch of strangers, apparently. My girlfriend, one of her patients is throwing the party, so he had asked her and bring everybody. Bring your guy, bring your sister. She's got a twin sister, by the way. So,
okay.
Going, yeah, they're not really identical. They look similar, but definitely not identical. My girl, she's blonde hair, and her sister is more brunette. So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Case of the twins.
I do have one of my best friends has a twin, and they are identical twins. There are many people that cannot tell the difference, but I definitely can tell just because I've known them for literally like forever. I've known them for like over 20 years at this point, but obviously I can tell. But there are people like, oh my God, how do you tell? It's like everything. I can tell by everything. Personality, facial structure. It's like, believe it or not, there's like differences. But yeah.
Yeah, they're both firecrackers as far as my girl and her twin. Firecrackers. Like they can be blunt. I'll tell you how it is. They don't even care. They kind of grew up in the hood, but they also grew up in the country. So they've kind of got the country hood. Well, her sister more so. Like my girl, she's a little calmer. She's a lot more calmer, but she can get a hood if she has to.
Same with the wife. Same with my wife, and I'm right there with you. She can.
Got the edge. Definitely got the edge. Both. Let's see.
Delco mentioned Hayashi is talking. Hopefully, he says something. Yeah, to help me out. Yeah, I mean, fingers
24,
crossed.
That's it.
Fingers crossed, man. I already had something work against me, most likely. So let's get the ball rolling here, down to 34-30.
Yeah.
Let's get this trade done by 11 p.m. when the session is over. But Looks like the Nasdaq's kind of trying to do a little bit of a consolidation move here. We had that relatively decent drop.
Yep.
I'll actually just put the chart up on it real quick. MQ. 1 minute. Yep. So we got pretty decent move down here. Small volume, relatively light volume with some larger sellers that came in a few minutes ago, and then some more lighter buying volume in here. So maybe we just see a little bit of almost like a miniature bear flag come about here, and we come back down. I love using this other tool here, the pathing tool, that you like to use too.
Yeah.
Maybe
I love it.
See this kind of bear flag action.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
I love it because I love it, man. You draw up what you are projecting that you want it to do, and then next time you go back 24 hours later, 48, whatever, you see it and you instantly remember exactly what your plan was. So that's my favorite tool. And it's a good visual for people on the chat to see what we're looking at. I love it. I love it. Love is stronger than love. You either love somebody
yes.
or you love. Honey, I don't love you. I love you.
I love you.
LURVE. That's right. That's my word. Y'all are free to use it. But just remember where it came from. Lurv.
Oh man, No Sleep saying you guys should bring your partners on to trade versus each. Oh, dude, that would be absolute havoc. We could not do that.
Yeah.
My girl, mine, she does not like this stuff at all. She doesn't like messing around with any of this. She's like, this gives me anxiety. I don't know how you do any of this.
Well, I'll just accidentally break into conversation about a trade or something. Because she'll ask how my day's going. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I got in a euro-dollar trade. Had a nice little breakout, the fundamentals. And she's over there slobbering like, I don't know what the heck you're saying. I don't know anything about that. But, yeah, it's just funny that I catch myself. Because, I get so used to talking to you guys on chat and coaches. And,
dude.
she'll ask me how my day went. I'm like, yeah. She reminds me real quick. I don't care. Yeah. And then I had
it's funny.
Previous manager of mine says the same thing. Twist her brain up. She used to walk by my laptop because I used to have my trading screen up while I'm doing my sales job. She's like, I don't know what the heck I'm looking at. It's like the Matrix. The Matrix screen, right?
Right.
It's pretty much what
bunch of,
some people have said.
Just a bunch of ones and zeros passing by. And yeah, man. It's funny. That's why, like, us traders, when we find each other to talk about things, it's like things just like it's almost like, oh my God, I finally. Yeah, right. Exactly. Literally. There are people that care.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm not a weirdo like I thought it was. Well, I'm still a weirdo, but at least I'm not the only weirdo.
Exactly. Niche crazy in the chat now. What's up, guys? Nothing much, man. I'm just in a gold short here. Been in a gold short essentially for over an hour at this point. Got stopped out on the first one, but I'm back in again. So looking, we kind of got a situation on our hands here. Maybe a little bit of a, like a little mini head and shoulders happening kind of here. So
that's what I was thinking.
To see. Yeah.
That's
good.
What it looked like to me too.
So come on.
Yeah, niche crazy. I've been in this. Oh, I was just answering. Niche crazy. I've been in the same two trades since yesterday, late yesterday. Euro dollar long, Nikkei long. Just kind of bouncing back and forth, right at about break even right now. Yeah, pretty well there. So, other than the one loss I had, the -4 that you see on screen, that was from a Swiss Jap little opening range breakout trade I took right before I went to sleep. So that's just something I'm playing with on the side. It's not anything I'm taking too serious yet, but I want to put some skin in the game, right? As far as just adding to my repertoire, adding to my arsenal. So, yep, that's basically where I'm at. Yep. Sorry, Paul. What was you saying?
Yeah, man. Oh no, yeah, no, like that's good. I was going to mention on this gold trade that I'm in right now, there was a decent bit of volume that came in closer to this 34, 35 and a half area. And what's I'm seeing on the order flow at the moment is, again, there were sellers that gave it a pretty good go, like aggressively. The delta was relatively negative, just about, our like the selling volume was relatively negative about 10 minutes ago, and we didn't get that push through that 35 level. And then sellers attempted two more times about at around 215 and couldn't get through again. And now we've got, buyers trying to push up a little bit, but it looks like, if, like I said this earlier, I don't even remember how long ago it was at this point, but that 35 level is just a really important one. Like it's been an important one. Bids keep stacking up there, getting depleted, and then, then they replenish. So I think there's a relatively larger buyer or buyers, trying to hold there, but sellers might end up winning eventually if they peck at it enough. But I'm just hoping that this trade is able to actually come to a close. Like it's decided whether the sellers win or the buyers win, in the next 40 minutes. Because honestly, if it's not decided by the time the stream ends, I'll probably just get out of the trade and call it a day here. But yeah, I'll hang in as long as I can.
Yeah, I feel like just looking at the relative strength index, looking at it on just a 5-minute time frame, it looks to me like it kind of had a little bit of divergence from 220 to, well, what would that be? 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then from there, it kept making lower lows on the RSI as far as your momentum. So I can see that continuing to drop.
Well, here's to hope. I mean, you never want to hope, but at this point in the overnight, I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem at all selling there. I definitely wouldn't want to buy there. So
yeah,
we'll see how that works out for you.
Yeah, I really thought this move was going to happen a lot quicker than it already did. It's when I was getting into this short, I was thinking I was going to be in a short, like the original short that I got stopped out on. I was thinking that this trade was going to take like 20 to 30 minutes max. And now here we are an hour later.
Wow. So this is one of your longer trades.
Yeah, man.
Right?
This is.
You were just saying earlier, what, 30 minutes is some of your longer ones?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Like 20 to 30 minutes is a relatively long time for me to be in a trade for. I mean, usually I'm in trades for like 7 to 10 minutes on average. And there's been a lot of trading lately that I've been doing where I've been more so scalping the shorter time frames. I've been in only for like, 2-3 minutes. So Chaboozer are asking what platform you trading on, Paul? I'm actually trading on the Project X platform that Hola Prime offers for futures. So, yeah, it's great. I mean, I've been learning it over the last couple of months. It's a good one. It's fun. It's got a lot of great tools on it and everything. It shows you statistics, all that stuff. So, I'm enjoying it. And Delco saying you did so well so far. Awesome, dude. Glad to hear, man.
Good.
I did all right. I did mention in the beginning of the stream, like I was technically up on the day, like a little over $200, but 170 of that was from the previous quiet market session, technically. So gave it all back and then was able to recuperate it and a little bit more. So pretty decent day for myself as well. But really glad to hear, Delco. And looks like we're pushing down. Looks like the 34.35 level just finally got
There
sold
you go.
through. Some large aggressive sellers came down on the deltas here, and it looks like we are making the move. Come on, let's go.
Yep. Paul is setting personal records in front of you guys and gals right now with his longest trade ever.
I genuinely
I'm
think my longest trade was somewhere between an hour and a half and 2 hours, so we could be matching that today for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Nice. I could see that drop in. Oh, that's your 15-minute. Okay. Time frame.
Yeah. So on the 5-minute, we got this going on. Whether or not, the 15-minute, on the 15-minute, we've got the 50-period EMA technically. So the 9 crossed over the 21 EMA on the 15-minute, which you could consider like short-term bearish. I don't really consider crossovers too much. I do like to see like when there's like a 50, like one of the EMAs is far below the other, if that really does act as support or if it just gets blown through. So I'll keep the 15-minute chart up here and see if it kind of acts as a little bit of a resist or a support area. The only thing that I do get a little bit worrisome about in a situation like this is like the half bat situation that Michael talks about, and like what I talk about with the H pattern that can really be detrimental to the shorts. Sometimes what you'll have happen is like the H forms and then you like pierce through that low and immediately come back up and then make the reversal. I don't think that this is that kind of short. Personally, the way that this is all reacted doesn't feel like that kind of H pattern. It feels like more of like a continuation move than anything. So and it looks like we're breaking through here. Looks like we're breaking through the 50-period EMA on the 15 minutes, so that's nice. But yeah, so that is something that I do like keep an eye on. Like I have that in the back of my head. Okay, we pierced through the low of that like lowercase h. Now, how are sellers reacting to it? Are they still super aggressive and getting price down, or are buyers really starting to come in? Aggressive buyers are coming in and holding price up. So I'll be watching the order flow rather diligently here at this area. Hopefully we see another big seller come in.
Yeah, because your white candle on the left, I mean, you just had one of them and then immediately right back to blue. So, yeah, that doesn't feel like, if you'd have had 2, 3, 4 white candles, that would probably feel a little different, right? Or that's the way I see it anyway. But since you just had the one, doesn't feel too much of a threat.
Yeah. And I will, I'll put a trailing one of my, I'll trail my stop at break even here now. At this point, we're a little bit more than a 1-to-1, so I'll go a few ticks below my break even or in the money on versus break even. So come on, let's keep going. We got 4 more points. We've only gotten 2. We're not even halfway there yet. So come on, we gotta at least get halfway there. Let's keep it going here. Come on, don't do that. Don't
the cup of coffee.
Come back. Yeah,
got the cup of coffee locked in either way. Let's see here.
Part of me wants to just take one off. I want to take one off right at this low. Since we just bounced up here, I'm going to take the one off. I'll keep the other 2 as runners.
Ooh. Things that make you go, ooh. Considering a 5-minute supply sale here on dollar Swissy. But I just need it to come a little bit higher.
So Chaboozer. So the thing with Project X is that's the futures. It's for futures trading specifically. So it's not like the CFD platform or anything. So for the spread on the futures, it's like a usually like a 1 to 2 tick spread on gold. Um, so you can't trade like the CFDs and whatnot on Project X, unfortunately, if that's what you're doing.
Well, that's not bad at
Um,
all.
no, no, it's a liquid
That's not.
market, super liquid. Yeah, super liquid for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Bitcoin,
that's
on the
pretty
other
good.
hand, that's a whole different story. That's a whole freaking different
Oh,
story.
really?
I'll tell you that. Yeah, that
Oh,
those spreads are like 5 to 6 ticks difference.
oh,
That's
okay.
terrible. But
Wow.
I have to I
So I
have to
guess
peel
a
another
tick
one
would
off.
be pretty much it would be the equivalence of a pip. So, or pretty close to it, I believe, if I've got my
Roughly,
conversions down. Roughly the same as a
right?
pip. So, yeah, I had my first broker I had, which was, yeah, well, it'll remain nameless, but it was pretty
Yeah.
good on the more major pairs. But like there were some pairs like the Euro New Zealand dollar that was like 8 and 9 pips spread, which would be about 8 or 9 ticks, pretty much the same thing. Like just some
Hmm.
pricey ones. Euro New Zealand was
Right.
always super pricey, and some of the other slower moving ones. But yeah, my gosh, and that's partly why I didn't trade some of those pairs because they were so dang expensive. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
No, I don't
all the
blame
other
you at all.
brokers
Are you kidding me?
have been great. Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine eight
Yeah.
or nine ticks spread on on stuff, trading stuff?
I literally wouldn't trade it. Yeah, I'd be
Yeah,
completely. It's like, all right, well, I'm not trading that market. So,
yeah,
but
that was the
so
same
yeah. By the
mindset I had.
way, an update. I did just actually get out because literally the buying volume started showing like, all right, there were buyers were starting to get a little bit more aggressive on the delta, and it looked like it wanted to push back up. But as soon as I'm saying this, we just slammed down like a point on gold, and so I couldn't hold on any longer because I thought that reversal, like I was telling you about from that like
Yeah,
we pierced through the low, and then we found some support there, and we might reverse back up. And I started getting bad juju about it. I just didn't like what the order flow was looking like, and actually, funny enough, the order flow is starting to confirm that big buys are coming in now and pushing it back
I
up.
could.
So for a second, I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, did I just get tricked by the order flow in this overnight?" This is part of the overnight session that I love. It's like trying to learn how to freaking read this dang order flow and understand, what kinds of volumes are more aggressive than not. And it's almost a little bit of like an art. And I agree, Delco. It does help a lot talking about the trades. Like talking about the trades just really solidifies whether or like what your conviction is, what your thesis is, and is it holding up in real time, and like does your
Yeah,
structure make sense and all that good jazz. So no, I've said it a few times before as well, man. It's great to talk about this stuff. Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
and
it
he just
helps.
said, and he also said stop limit instead of leaving. And dude, Tiger has said something very similar to me as well, and I'm trying my best. I am trying my best to use stop limits instead of just getting out of trades like entirely. But
Oh,
um, the problem is like in order, like a lot of the trades that I seem to get into, if I genuinely want the trade, like if I am giving the trade enough of a chance, it has to be a very wide ways away, relatively speaking. So like if I'm like let's say I'm 1 to 1 in the money. So my risk to reward is 1 to 1 at the moment, and I'm 1 unit in the money. And if I move my stop to break even, it a lot of the times what'll happen is I'll get stopped out because I didn't give it enough room to continue the downward trend. And that was kind of the situation here with this gold trade, was where like, yeah, I moved everything down to one, like I moved everything, my stops down to break even to start to try to trail. But when I started seeing the buying pressure come back in above that previous low that we had pierced through, I was just
Yeah.
like, this looks like something that will tick me out at break even and then could possibly either reverse or just like continue back down, or just completely reverse and start jumping upwards. So I figured, you know what? I'll just lock the profit in here. I'll take it. But I agree. There are times where using the stops and trying to trail is a good idea, especially when you're like deep in the money too. Like when you're in the money, relatively deep, trying to trail with some lot, like, some of your lot size at least, to just lock in the gains but allow enough room to continue to move is totally
Yep.
makes sense.
Yeah, and it's it's one of those things where just like a lot of these things, it all comes back to comfort level. There's pros and cons to all of it.
Right.
Like for me personally, I mean, I'm constantly trail stopping all of my trades. My trades, all my winning trades, always end in a stop loss getting hit. Right? Because I tend to just keep, if I'm buying something, I tend to just keep moving it up under the nearest swing low point on the smaller time frames. So, but yeah, that's the way it is. I mean, yeah, there'll be a lot of trades that have moved, a lot further up, where I could have locked in a lot more profits. But I've also had a lot of trades where I'll set it at a 2-to-1, 3-to-1. Price will get almost to the profit target and then just turn around and run against me all the way back to the start. So then you lose all the profits. So yeah, it's just comfort level. I like to lock in the profits. I'm not trying to win $1 million on a trade, just slowly grow it. So, but that's even something that to this day I play around with, because there'll be times where I'll get annoyed that, I had a trade come back and, stop me out for a profit, but then I see that it would have hit a profit target just ahead of supply. That would have been a heck of a lot more. So it's double-edged sword. There's pros and cons of either way, really. I don't think there is really a right or wrong way to do it.
Like it's funny. Like Coach Daryl's like, I trail like a bloodhound. That's exactly like what I'm trying to do, is trail my stops.
That's me, Coach D.
The problem with my, like, a lot of my trade setups, like right now, gold's would be going back in my favor and everything would be fine, and I'd be looking for more to the downside here. But I have a feeling that Delco likes to sit in trades. Tell me if I'm wrong, Delco. You like to do you like to sit in trades a little bit longer? Is your like average trade time like further, like 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, or do you like to scalp? Or I'm just interested to know, because I definitely, we can tell you're definitely a trader at heart. So or at least I can definitely tell you're a trader at heart. So I would like to know like what your kind of style is in your trading. Are you longer, like a little bit longer term in the intraday, or shorter term?
Yeah, and as far as talking about the trade that you commented earlier, Delco, I'm constantly doing that. Like whenever I'm going through my zones with the fellas on Forex Fire, I'll mark out a lot of zones, supply and demand zones, but it's kind of comical because there'll be times I'm analyzing a zone on a specific potential trade, and right in the middle of the analysis, I'll be like, you know what? I don't like this dang thing. Something's off. The volume's off. My RSI isn't giving me a good reading. The trend isn't looking right, and I'm always canceling out zones right on stream. So it's good to talk them out, because I'll talk out my own zones, and sometimes I'll be like, well, wait, no, that doesn't look as good as what I thought it did initially. So good to do that. It's really good to do that, and I think Michael does the same thing. We'll be sitting there talking up analysis. We might get 2, 3, 4 minutes into a pair, and then all of a sudden, oh, wait a minute, I don't like this. So just ignore everything I just said for the last 3 minutes. So yeah, I agree. It's definitely good to talk about potential setups.
It's fantastic.
Or the range will be too narrow or something. Too skinny.
We are, so the night's flown by. I mean, we are only 23 minutes away from 11 p.m. here, Eastern
Wow.
time, from the session being over.
Well, I can take a look at a few other top setups if you like.
Yeah, we could do that. Let's do that.
Unless you had anything there.
No, I'll let you know
Yeah,
if I do get into any trades.
Okay. Yeah, I was wanting to kind of share a little more in depth on some of these setups, kind of what I'm looking at, because typically I kind of go through the economic score, right? Economic scores for a lot of these bullish and bearish pairs. So, kind of have a chart that kind of summarizes all my scores up. So, yeah, back end, if you can flip on over to my chart, I'll just kind of look at my top setups at a glance. And then we'll just kind of go through a couple of them real quick. Update my trades that I'm on. And we'll go from there. So back over to me, back end, if you would. Because, I mean, obviously I spend a heavy deal of emphasis on the economical reports, but, I always forget this part. But also, I also want to know what the sentiment's doing and what the actual technical analysis is. So breaking it further down, just looking at the gold and the silver as the top setups. I mean, it's obviously got the strongest eco scores. So economic reports. So basically, U.S. not doing so good on a lot of these reports recently, but I like to kind of look at the economic score alongside the technical score, which is the trend. And then obviously the sentiment. So this sentiment score is a combination of the big banks and institutions and the retail trader, the person at home on a computer, on our laptop, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to kind of see a balance of these. I really kind of like to see a balance. Like, give me a good sentiment, a good technical, and a good eco. Because the last thing I want to do is look at this. And so obviously New Zealand dollar, it's giving me a bullish score of a 5. Okay, I have permission to go buy that market. Really strong fundamentals, but what's the problem? Technical score is not so good. It's not a really strong uptrend. And it kind of uses the daily time frame as the technical score. So that's something I try to factor in as well. I mean, you got to ride a trend. Trend is your friend till the bend at the end, they always say. So, for that reason alone, I probably wouldn't be as interested in the New Zealand dollar, just because it's a little more negative. So I try to see at least a 2, at least a 2 or a 3 on, on the technicals. That's really my preference. Just give me a decent score. Don't give me a negative, because if it's a negative, then I'm basically trying to call a trend reversal. Right. Which I'll let the banks do that. I'll let the big banks and institutions accumulate to push, to curl price around to push the trend back up, so that then I can look to latch on after that's been confirmed. But if I'm getting a negative score, well, then I'm the one trying to catch the falling knife, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I like to be able to see the technical score alongside it. I mean, I can go look at the trend as well, but it's just nice to have it all on a one-pager, right?
Right.
And then obviously the sentiment. So yeah, you look at gold and silver. Well, clearly I'm getting a high technical score because they've just been going up. Silver, especially silver of late, but gold overall, I mean, kind of a little bit of a sideways move over the last few weeks or so. But so yeah, that's something I just kind of wanted to point out, and it'd be the exact same thing in reverse on the bearish. The dollar Japanese yen as an example, it's giving me a +1. Well, I'm not the biggest fan of that, but look at the eco score, -9. So that's actually the strongest eco score I'm getting out of anything is the dollar Japanese yen. But again, not getting the strongest technical score. So I would prefer to let the banks kind of swing that back around to the downside a little more, which is why my favorite right now is the dollar Swiss. Really strong eco score, really strong bearish score on the technicals as well, and the sentiment. So that's actually my top setup is the dollar Swiss on the short side. So Moving on over to the dollar Swiss. I was looking at a little supply right in this area up here, I believe it was. I think I got to go down to a 10-minute or 5-minute actually. I got a tiny little critter right up in here I'm keeping an eye on because there's a blue line going through this supply, which was a former support. So if I just go all the way back out to my daily, that zone is right here, basically touching this point back in time. So it's quite a ways away, back in June. But it's always nice to be able to match former resistance and support. It's never guaranteed, but it just adds an extra layer of confluence. So it's going, that blue line's going right through that supply. So I like that. So that's probably my closest item I've got. It's about 4 pips away. So for that, and I just saw that pop up just a little bit ago. So I need to put an alert on there. And I'll probably just throw it out for 24 hours. Nothing too crazy. So that's my nearest trade to get into. I just need a little bit more of a raise. I need a little more premium for me to feel good about getting into that.
Good old premium.
Premium. Give me some premium. But other than that, let's go look at my other trades and see how they're doing and how they're faring. Yeah, the Nikkei is actually looking pretty good. So it's, let me I like to refresh my screen periodically. Just to get the most up-to-date look. But yeah, so this 15-minute time frame, yeah, it's been going up ever since we've been on stream. So, Paul, you've been good luck for it. You have been good luck for it. But yeah, I definitely am interested to see, just really want to see it kind of break through this supply area here. That was a pretty strong drop in price yesterday, 7 p.m. our time. So that would have been the Truth Social post with Trump firing that Cook, right? Governor Cook.
Yeah.
So that's that candle. That's that candle there.
Right.
I think it was Cook.
Yeah. I was going to say,
no,
or like,
I'm staying.
Yeah, I was going to say he's like trying to. I don't know if he actually has the ability to.
Right.
But he's trying to, and like literally, you're getting headlines right now, like of like the question, like essentially, gold might get a bid off of just the sake of like the questioning of the Fed's independence at this point, which is when the Fed's independence is being questioned, that is not good because if they, for some reason, lose independence, that is a very bad sign for our country's capitalism. So, we'll see.
Yeah,
I know.
I agree. But how interesting it is to look at a market, a world away and see that even they took a drop just on. Tweet, right.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously, Japan is highly to us in a lot of ways. So it's just interesting, man. It's interesting. You learn something every single day about how this affects that market, how that market affects this, how that commodity correlates and does this to that. It's just crazy, man. Everything is just one big, gigantic jigsaw puzzle.
It really is.
Everything's on a pulley system. So, but anyway, yeah, that's that. So it's been going up. I am definitely interested, though. I would like to see it just break through that Truth Social candle, right? But again, I got my profit up here. This would be the next potential, obstacle. But I'm not too worried about this. That's just nothing more than a swing point. It really didn't get a whole lot of volume coming out of that. I mean, yeah, you could argue that might be a decent red candle down here, but I'm not worried about it. It's not like that candle was the size of this green candle over here. So obviously, step number one, let's bust through the Truth Social candle. And then step number 2 is break through this rather low volume little swing point. And then obviously I'd be looking at this point here. Not too worried about that because the leg out candle wasn't the greatest volume either. Not till this candle here, which that candle here is basically behind this candle. So not worried about it. But then I just basically, I think I just plotted out like what did I plot out? 2 to 1, I think it was 633. So my math. I don't like math. 633. I think, that's right. I looked at this one on a 4-hour, was it? 4-hour supply. Yeah, that's basically what I was looking at. I need to draw this out so that I can remember it. So that candle there is basically where I would look to take profit. Just ahead of that. Because we did have some pretty good volume come out of that candle there. So, yeah, if we can get up to there by Friday, that's where I'll be taking profit on that one. So we'll see.
Come on, baby.
Come on, baby. Another net. Still looking at my euro dollar. It's not doing too well, but I ain't worried about it. I could see this right here as being a potential demand, which is getting close. So give me a bounce up from that. That'll make me feel a little better. Or even going down to a 30, or what did I do? I think I did a 15-minute. No, never mind. I guess I did just look at that on the 1 hour. So yeah, I mean, obviously this was the demand I bought off of the Jerome Powell pre-speech candle. That was the first one to actually retrace the whole move. Out of every currency pair I was looking at, euro dollar was the first one to retrace that whole Powell speech move. So that's why I jumped into that one. And then it's just kind of created a little mini demand there. I'm not too thrilled with it, but we'll see. You always look to see where things might turn around. So I could see that happening. Hopefully, I need to get rid of some of these lines. I got too many lines on here. But I was trying to get a 1-to-1, which would have been basically a close right here above this line, and it wicked through, and it never closed. So that's why I didn't move it up to a cup of coffee. That's why I just left it. I just got to give it some more breathing. I got to ignore it, let it do its thing. But I ultimately got to take profit up here before this supply.
I like that a lot, man. I like that trade a lot, honestly. That's a really good trade, I think. I think it's going to work out for you.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. I mean, just going back to going back to my euro dollar scores. I mean, +2 on sentiment. It's technical is break even. It's 0, but +3 on eco. So I don't have any negatives on the technicals on any of these other sentiment eco scores. It's all positive or neutral. Just looking at the trend itself, I go all the way out to a daily.
Real quick, Delco's tuning out here. He's getting some sleep. Thanks for chatting with us, man. It was a pleasure. And Hola Prime TV was asking gold up $32, oil pulling back hard. Which one are you looking at more closely? Boozer said gold. You know what's funny is can I choose both? I'm kind of looking at both relative. I mean, I am, I guess, technically looking at gold more, but I do keep an eye on crude a lot as of the last the last week or so. I've been keeping more of an eye on it. So,
I've got me too. I mean, like I said, it just jumped onto my bearish narratives, bearish score. So, I mean, I've got 2 things I'm looking at on oil. I'm looking at a 4-hour supply right here, which also kind of lines up with just kind of some, if you go to out to the daily, I mean, just kind of some former support points here. So just basically looking to get a little bit of a push through these low points, hit that supply. Now that's a higher time frame play, 4-hour supply, but I also have a 15-minute supply play right here. So that's the 64.10 as far as US oil. I really love this play. So this is Tuesday. This is 9:30 a.m. this morning. So what formed that candle? That would have been basically the Cheeseburger Consumer Confidence Report. CB. I just like to call it the Cheeseburger Report.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you basically just had a couple orange folder events. You had the core durable goods, the durable goods for the month-over-month period, and the Richmond Manufacturing Index. That was all good for the dollar. Every single one of them. You had 4 in a row. So you had 7:30, you had 9 o'clock, 2 reports each time. But yeah, core and regular durable exceeded the expectations on all that. That was great. The Richmond Manufacturing exceeded. Cheeseburger Consumer Confidence exceeded. So those were all good for the dollar. But yeah, I guess if you add all that together, it might equate to like one red folder. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, possibly. I think potentially.
I don't know. It sounded good in my head.
Yeah, potentially. I think they can, if it just depends on like the volatility of the number. Like, if two of the number, like let's say, or one of the numbers is really out of whack versus expectations, and the other one is just like solidly not in line with expectations, then I think it can be more of a red folder. But yeah.
I think the only one that was like a very hot reading was the core durable. So previous 0.3% forecasted to go down to 0.2%, but it actually had a 1.1%. So that was quite a hot number. But and then tomorrow's Wednesday. I think Wednesday we get the oil numbers come out. Is that right? The inventories, I believe it is. Wednesday, yeah, crude oil, 9:30 Central tomorrow, Central AM or Central Standard Time. So that number is projected to be a little bit higher. So, but yeah, that's where I'm looking as far as oil. Like I said, just give me a simple. I'd like to see a little manipulation. This kind of went down. Maybe come up. Maybe do a little bit of manipulating before going in. Something like that's what I would kind of prefer to see.
Yeah.
That way you get here and you start doing a little sideways basin action, which would basically be a contraction. Get some expansion legs out to really start manipulating the retailers, and then push it up to find a trend leg. That's really what I'm looking at for U.S. oil, because after all, it is given a -6. So it's got a -4 on the eco, 0 on the technical, but a -2 on the sentiment. So between the big banks and the retail traders, the banks obviously added some shorts to their positioning, if I remember right. Go double check that off screen real quick. U.S. oil. Yes, I'm modest. So they basically added 0.13% shorts. So just a very slight short. But I think I have. What are the retail traders doing on that? I'm actually going to find out what the retail traders did on oil. Oh, yeah. And so listen to this. So, yeah, U.S. oil, as far as the retail traders, they are 90.31% net long. So if they're net long, I want to be observing the masses and doing the opposite.
Right.
So I'm wanting to short. So, yeah, definitely. Give me a simple retracement there. I'm in there. Probably one of my top 3 setups right now. Now, again, this is our problem child. So will it set up? Probably not. Because it is stubborn. But if it does, you might finally see me take an oil trade. I've been eyeballing oil for the last 6 or 8 months, and I haven't placed one trade on it yet. Because me and Michael face the same challenge. We see the setups. They just don't set up. We don't get that final piece.
Right.
Kind of funny how that. It's funny. We had the exact same problem. We didn't know it until we both started talking about it. He's like, "Yeah, I have the same problem. Oil's the problem child." So that's why I call it his problem child. It's a new thing now.
Yeah.
So dollar Swiss short, U.S. oil short, just waiting on price to get there. And I'm going to be sweet talking my 2 open trades. So we'll get that updated if it closes in the morning or whatever. I actually put one of the charts on the Discord. Usually when I put my trades on Discord, ladies and gentlemen, I'll usually put whatever. Good fundamental score. Big banks liked it. They increased their longs. They increased their shorts if it's a short sell. I'll usually talk about the supply and demand zones it bounces into. Did I get confluence from the 4-hour to the daily time frame, or the 15-minute to the 1-hour time frame? Did it get a bounce off of the VWAP line? So I try to include those things in there when I add in my trades in the Discord channel, just to give everybody an idea of why the heck I got into the trade. So definitely look out for that. It's under the chart setups tab under strategy and education. And then, as always, guys and gals, if you haven't gotten on yet, go to holaprime.com. You'll see the Discord button at the very top if you want to be let into the cool kids club. We'll take everybody.
We will. And yeah, there's a lot of good conversations that go in on the 2 Discord channels. So definitely join if you can, for sure. Just, and, give us a like and subscribe if you can on the YouTube channel. It goes a long way for us. So we really do appreciate it, but looks like we got to wrap up here. Yeah. So it is 30 seconds away here. So pretty good session, not too bad. We're both you're still in that euro trade. I took a couple of gold trades here. Ended up barely I got that cup of coffee, but could have been better. But it's fine. I'm surviving going into tomorrow. So, but with that being said, chat, have a great rest of your day or night, and hopefully see you tomorrow. Coach Tiger, it's been a pleasure. Hope you get some sleep, and I'll catch you on Thursday. And also, happy birthday again, man. Happy birthday.
I appreciate you. Have a wonderful one. I'll be enjoying my hump day. Streaming as always.
Heck yeah. On Wednesday. Awesome.
Spend my birthday with y'all. Right. How about that?
Yeah. All right. I'll see you, brother.
Yep. Enjoy.
Take care.
Hola Prime, trade with transparency.